Hey guys, Jesse here. Hope everyone's having a really good Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you have Labor Day off. If not, then keep up the hard work. I'm certainly having a great weekend and having a great day, so, you know, I thought maybe today would be a good day to do the review of the real grade Zaku 2 Char's Custom. And I have to say, this may be the last real grade I ever buy. So if you're subscribed to this channel for real grade reviews, I hate to break it to you, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more. Unless they make a real grade of a suit I really, really like the God Gundam or the F91, I don't think I'll be buying any more real grades in the future. It's just not the line for me, and I can't really pin it on a big reason why. I just think a bunch of little reasons just kind of adds up to my distaste for the real grade line. But let's just go ahead and talk about this kit and I'll explain. This is a really good kit if you like real grade and sort of the things it advertises, but for me, I can get everything I can in a real grade, in a master grade, and it's just better. But I'll go over reasons why I don't like real grade. But this was the second real grade ever made, but if I'm to be brutally honest, I built the Amatsu Mina, which was the real grade right before the Unicorn, and I don't tell a difference. I can't tell a difference if I'm to be honest. Like they both have the same prawns I've seen in every real grade I've built. And so, I mean, the proportions and looks, by the way, this is a completely out of box build, no stickers, no panel lines. The only thing I painted on this was the mono eye. Other than that, completely out of box. So anyways, the proportions on this kit are really good. I mean, they look great. Probably the best proportioned Zaku I've ever seen. So, in those terms, if you're worried about the looks of this or anything like that, I think it's a tie between this and the Origins Zaku for 1 to 144 scale Zaku looks. The different colored armor is really, really nice. I think the pink colors work a lot better, like this light pink and then this kind of salmon pink. I think it works a lot better than the red because for me, the difference between the reds here are just way too different. This is far too light than compared to that red. And for whatever reason, the backpack is like this really, really bright red, and it really throws it off for me. I really hate the color of that backpack compared to everything else. But aside from that, yeah, the colors are really good. Actually, I really like the difference in the grays. It's more apparent on the weapons, but as you can see in the chest here, you've got a lighter gray and a darker gray, and it looks really good overall. So I only have a problem with the red. Everything else looks great. I mean, the looks of the kit are great. I mean, all the color you're seeing here, the thrusters down here on the front and on the back, those are all different pieces. No stickers used to create missing color apps. But you probably already knew that with real grade. I mean, it is the appeal of the real grade line. My biggest problem when it comes to real grades are the kind of fitting issues and details like the sculpt and the mold. For me, the sculpt and the mold of just the outside are just a little too soft. Like this seems so round, and there's just, I mean, this kit is better than the previous real grades I've built, but something about the outer detail is soft. Like, for example, in this crotch piece, like this doesn't, these edges just aren't as sharp as they normally would be on like a master grade or something bigger. As you can see here in the wrist, these aren't fitting on correctly. I don't even think they're supposed to, but it's really annoying, and you've got like these huge gaps. And there's a bunch of instances on this kit where just pegs are just too small, and it's just because of the grade, and they're trying to do all these details and etc., etc. I have noticed that fitting is far better on newer real grades, but it's not like a huge leap forward. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I know a bunch of people love real grades, and I'm sort of the one outlier. But yeah, for me, just a combination. It's not fun to build for me. I don't enjoy building real grades. I just thought I love the Zaku. Maybe the real grade Zaku will be a real grade I enjoy, and I didn't enjoy it. Pieces are just too small, and I'm a pretty dexterous person. Like I'm good at handling small, tiny objects, but sanding down and filling with the little pieces on this just isn't that fun. So, but it looks good standing there, so I guess that's what counts, right? In terms of articulation, of course, everything about this kit is great in terms of articulation, but this comes to another point I have with real grades. And again, I've built the Amatsu Mina and it has this same sort of problem. The kit just doesn't feel sturdy. I mean, everything feels so loose and just doesn't, like right out of the box, it feels very loose and just doesn't feel like it's going to last enough bends that eventually one day it'll just flop apart. That's what happened to my red frame, my real grade red frame, and it just doesn't move anymore without just falling over. The ankles have become incredibly weak on that kit. There's a lot of cool armor moving parts on this kit. They don't always work. The legs work just fine, but I find with the arms, yeah, see this armor piece has gotten stuck and now it won't move. Okay, let's try this arm. Okay, that works a lot better, but I think it's supposed to go a bit further. But as you can see, you know, you've got to really, really build this thing incredibly precisely, or else it won't move exactly how it's supposed to. The mono eye in this kit is supposed to move when you turn the head, but the clear piece in there for the eye is almost exactly the same as the clear piece for the machine gun. And I initially put the machine gun clear part in there, and it is just long enough to have scraped against the sort of visor here, and it wore away the little gear in there to turn the head. And I didn't notice I had put the wrong piece in until I got to the weapon, so mine doesn't move. But that's totally my fault. That's not the kit's fault. But yeah, all the tubing here is really cool. I mean, it's the same as the master grade. You kind of slide this rod over these ring pieces and then you cut them off and slide them on. It works a lot better on the real grade. I will say that I have built a master grade Zaku 2.0 and this works way better than it did on that kit, except for the springs here. The kind of pegs that you put into the leg here, I don't know, something about like just putting this whole assembly together was really irritating. I ended up breaking the little peg here and had to glue it. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but it was incredibly difficult to get the spring pieces together. The cockpit does open up. As you can see, no pilot in there, but it does open up, and to close it, you just kind of have to give it a good old rub. There we go. And now it's down. So there you go. Yeah, so a combination of fitting issues and soft details and loose articulations just sort of make me never want to buy real grades again. But let's move on to the accessories. You know, first off, let's talk about the decal sheet. I've got it right here. With all real grades, you've got just an unholy amount of sticker decals. I didn't use these simply because I didn't have that much time, but at the same time, a lot of pieces go around, or a lot of stickers go around a lot of round parts on this kit. This kit is very round, so stickers on round parts, as some of you may know, do not work well, and I don't suggest it. Get the water slides. So I won't be using these. If I ever do decide to come back to this kit, which is very rare, I'm going to use water slides. Next, we've got the heat hawk. So I'll get this out of the way. It's pretty cool that they molded this blade part as a separate piece and separate color, so it looks a bit better than your typical Zaku heat hawk, but you know, not too exciting. Almost has the exact same details as a high grade, so it does come with this little adapter piece so you can clip it onto the side of the side skirts. Nothing too exciting there. You've got the bazooka. Again, we've got two differently colored grays here. One cool thing about this bazooka that I wish they had done in future master grades, but they still haven't done it. This whole like darker gray piece is one piece, and you clamp these lighter ones around it, so that means there's no seam around this entire barrel, which is really, really cool. Wish they would do that with master grades. With this and the machine gun, you do have this little peg that pops out and it'll plug into the hands. You need sort of a hobby knife or something to poke that through. But got a clear piece for the scope. I think that should be red, so, but once it's in there, so I'm not getting that out. In any case, really cool bazooka. He holds it just fine, and he can. Oh geez, this is gonna take me a bit, but it can go into the back side skirts. There we go. Got a little slot there, and yeah, it's not great, but it does work. There we go. Eventually. So now you've got him holding on to the bazooka. And I like when kits can hold all their weapons. So having this and then the He-Hawk on the side and then him holding the machine gun will have all your weapons on it. Speaking of the machine gun, here it is. Yeah, classic Zaku machine gun design. Looks really good in this real grade form. The proportions are great. The ammo does come off and can be stored on the side skirt. So, well, this gives me a chance to show you how detailed this thing is. The bullets are actually molded in there, so just like the perfect grade. So that's pretty cool. Didn't expect this to come off, but if I did get it off correctly, you would be able to mount the ammo on either the back skirt or the side skirts. But in any case, I've got the articulated fingers here. You only get fists and articulated fingers with this kit, but for these weapons, these hands actually work really well. So I'm not really going to complain about the real grade hands. I know many people hate them, including myself, but for this kit, they actually work really well. So of course you get that hand, you've got the other hand, and you get a little tiny Char, which I've never painted a 1:144 scale figure, but I'm considering practicing on this guy. Then finally an action-based adapter. So what can I say about this kit? I don't know, it seems like real grade, the opinions on real grade are simply torn down the middle. You either hate them or you love them, and most people love them. I'm in the small group of maybe 10 people who dislike real grade, and this kit has not convinced me of the line, because I thought maybe I'm just hating on new ones because they're all suits that I don't like. But after building the second real grade in the line compared to the newest or second newest real grade, for me, I don't enjoy building either. Maybe the unicorn is so much better that it can just convince anyone. But for me, if I really want this much detail in a suit, I'll just get the master grade. It's as simple as that. But yeah, if this is something you like you see this and you like it and you like the look and you're willing to deal with all the real grade sort of problems I had mentioned, then this is a great kit. I mean, the proportions are great, the color separation is really great, except for the reds there, at least in my opinion, and the gimmicks are great, the articulation is great. But yeah, there's just little things about this. I mean, for me, the biggest thing on this kit is the fitting issues, like here on the arm. I mean, again, I think that gray part isn't actually supposed to stay in place, but it just looks bad. And so does this collar piece. I might come back to this. I might paint it or something, but yeah, as it stands, I don't really want to ever touch this kit again. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.